Welcome to GDs. And this is, from, Season 2, Part 2 of 2. As the episode starts, we see Christy, confronting Marielle about her addiction. Marielle tries to deflect the accusation, and they get into a fight. Meanwhile, Boyd goes to see Kenny's mom, in order to tell her his side of the story, as to why Sarah is still alive. As he was talking to her, Kenny reaches there, and he wants nothing to do with Boyd. He asks him to leave, but before Boyd could get out, he faints, and has a vision of a ballerina dancing on the tune of the music box. Kenny, despite being upset with him, decided to help him, and take him to the clinic. On their way, Boyd, in order to build their relation, tells him what happened when he was gone. But Kenny doesn't believe him, and thinks that he might be losing his mind. Boyd has another vision, and sees the music box and the ballerina. When they reach the clinic, Christy examines him. Boyd shares with her what happened to him, and shows her the cut on his arm, telling her that he believes that something was transferred in his blood. But Christy was also not convinced with his story, and asks him to rest. She discusses the same with Kenny, and Kenny thinks that Boyd might be going insane. Boyd has yet another vision of the ballerina, and hears the music from the box, and this time, he ends up pointing a gun at Marielle. At the colony house, we see Donna taking food from the house. She asks Ellis and Fatima to keep things under control in the colony house. It is when we learn that there is a food shortage, as the storm destroyed a lot of their harvest. Donna reaches with the food at Kenny's house, and she shares the information with Tabitha and Jim. As they begin to start preserving the food, Jim asks Donna why she never shared this information before. Donna snaps at him, and tells him that they never had time for this conversation. Jim, knowing the same, wants to share the information with everyone. But Donna tells him that if he will do so, it will create chaos in the people, and they are already on the edge. Jim also believes that this is another test being done, in order to understand how they will react to the situation. Back at the colony house, there is tension among the people, as they were able to figure out about the food shortage. One of the old colony house member wanted to send the new arrivals out of the house. As Ellis tried to intervene, he accidentally stabbed him. Seeing Ellis lose a lot of blood, Elgin decides to help, and he drives Fatima and Ellis to the clinic, despite it being dark. They luckily were able to reach the clinic, and Christy was able to stop the bleeding. But Ellis had lost a lot of blood, and needed a blood transfusion, in order to survive. Boyd is the one who is a match for his blood, but he was not willing to donate, as he thinks that his blood has something in it, and is not safe. Kenny, not believing him, tries to force him to do so. It is when Boyd has a sensation in his arm, and the rest of them were also able to see something moving in his arm. Seeing the same, they were finally convinced about Boyd's story. Kenny, in order to save Ellis, asks Boyd to pass whatever he has to him, but Boyd was not willing to do so. He instead cuts his hand and goes outside, and passes his blood in a monster, saying the same phrase. "My blood is now your blood." As Boyd backs up, the monster has a reaction and it collapses. Boyd returns back, and can feel that whatever he had inside of him is now gone. Therefore he goes ahead with the transfusion, and is able to save his son. Being at the clinic, Fatima is quite stressed with everything that is happening. She also asks Christy for a pregnancy test, and later learns that she is pregnant. Christy assures her that she need not worry, as they will be able to take care of her. As the sun comes up, the group in the clinic goes to check on the monster and they discover that he died. Boyd wants to bring it in the clinic, so that they could examine it, but Kenny is against the decision. They leave the final call at Christy, and she decides to examine the body, thus they bring the body in the clinic. Boyd asks Ellis to return to the colony house, so that people don't come to check on him at the clinic, and they could keep the news of a monster dying a secret, till they are able to understand more. As Christy opens up the monster, she finds that his anatomy is similar to that of humans, but everything is dried up. Frustrated of not finding anything significant, she starts stabbing the body, which results in them finding a bile. Boyd believes that the bile might be used to kill the monsters. Marielle, going through withdrawal, hallucinates about the monster attacking her, while Christy takes care of her. Donna reaches back at the colony house, and feels guilty about not being there. She also got the one who stabbed Ellis locked up, not sure what to do with him. Later, Fatima tells her that she is pregnant, and Donna is quite excited hearing the news. Julie, being at the colony house to see Ellis, finds a friend in Elgin. Elgin shares with her how he saw a dream just before they arrived, and now he is unable to remember the same, and he thinks that it might be important. Julie comforts him, and tells him not to worry. Ethan connects with Victor, but Victor is afraid of getting close to him, as he has lost everyone with whom he ever got close. Jim and Tabitha have an argument, as Jim believes that they are in an experiment, while Tabitha, going through her experiences, doesn't believe so. Jim, seeing Randall flying a drone, goes to him, and shares his theory with him. Randall is the first person who believes in him, and agrees to help him out. Jim goes with him to his RV, in order to get the antenna for the radio, hoping Randall's drone could take it above the tree line, so that he could contact the voice on the radio again. Randall tells Jim that he believes that many of the people here are in on the experiment, and that is why they are not allowed to see outside in the night, and since Donna was the one who explained everything to them, he thinks that Donna is one of them. But Jim tells him that he is on the wrong track. They try to lift the antenna, but the drone was not able to do so. On the other hand, Tabitha goes to see Jade, as he wasn't surprised when he saw her in the jungle. She discusses what she saw with Jade, and Jade tells her that he wasn't surprised, as he has had his own visions. As Jade shares his experiences, and shows Tabitha the symbol he keeps on seeing, Tabitha tells him that she has seen the symbol on the walls of the cave where they were, and she takes him to the opening of the cave from where they got out. Knowing this, Jade is quite upset, as he had a pact with Victor that he will tell him everything about the symbol. But despite knowing this, he never shared it with him. Meanwhile, Victor goes to see Ethan, and gifts him a jacket of his, while Ethan drew a picture of him, and wanted him to keep the same, so that he doesn't forget him. As they reach the diner, Ethan finds a toy in the jacket's pocket, and he gives it to Victor. Seeing the toy, Victor has a flash of memory about his mother. At the same time, Jade also reaches the diner, accusing Victor of hiding stuff from him. Victor tells him that he wasn't hiding anything, but simply forgot, and never knew if the stuff was important. As Jade pushes Victor, he gets quite agitated. Tabitha intervenes to stop Jade, giving Victor an opportunity to leave. Meanwhile, Kenny sees a dream, which starts with his phone ringing, and as he picks up, he hears a riddle. He then sees a lot of bugs buzzing, and one of them splashes hot water on him, causing him to wake up. But when he wakes up, he has the burn mark of the bug on his arm. Elgin also dreamt of being drowned, and as he has woken up, he coughed out water, as if he was really drowning. On the other hand, Sarah tells Boyd that she is planning to return to the woods, as there is nothing for her to do here, and no one wants to be close to her. Boyd asks her not to do so, and assures her that he will find a way to make her feel useful. Boyd goes to the colony house to seek Donna's help for the same. Being there, he also learned about Elgin drowning in his dream. Elgin, getting to know that they found bile from the monster, suggests to Boyd that they can dip the bullets in the bile, and by this way, they will be able to get the bile inside the monster, and hopefully it will kill them. Later, Boyd catches up with Kenny, and shares the bullet theory with him. As they reach the clinic, they hear a buzzing sound coming from the basement. Boyd and Kenny go to check it out, and they find that the bugs which Kenny dreamt of are covering the monster's body. They get back up, and Kenny shares with them about being burnt by a similar bug in his dream. While Jim and Randall, in order to find evidence that they might be in an experiment, interrogate Sarah, wanting to know more about her, thinking she might be an actor, and may have faked his brother's death. They push Sarah, wanting to know if her brother is still alive. It is when Donna reaches there and stops them. She gives Sarah a few cloths to stitch up, hoping to make her feel wanted by the community. She later warns Jim that Randall is not stable, and he should be cautious in what he shares with him. Donna then goes to the clinic, and learns about the dead monster, as well as people being injured in their sleep. Knowing the same, they decide to burn the monster, and to warn the others in the community to keep a watch on one another as they sleep. As they were taking out the monster's body to burn, we get to see Randall watching them. Jim goes to the diner, and he tells his daughter that he will be spending the night in the RV, and has a stone with him for protection, and she should not worry. It is when we learn that he made that plan with Randall to observe things at night, when no one knows they are looking. But Randall had other plans, as seeing Donna dispose of a body, he was convinced that she is one of the people behind everything, thus he kidnaps her. Tabitha, on the other hand, comes to see Victor. Victor tells her that he doesn't like people asking questions, as those who ask questions end up dying. He shares with her that a lot of his childhood memories are gone, but seeing the plane, he remembered his mother, who gave him the plane, and told him to hide, and not to come out. And that was the last time he saw his mother, as when he got out in the morning, everyone had died. Tabitha comforts him, and is able to make him open up. Victor tells her that he might remember more from the pictures he drew as a child. He reveals to Tabitha that he kept the picture from his childhood away, as he wanted to forget stuff. But Tabitha is able to convince him to show her the pictures. As Victor sees the pictures, he remembers that those were not drawn by him, but his sister Eliza. And their mother asked both of them to stay back. But her sister ran after their mother, while he remained inside till the morning. Tabitha tells him that it was not his fault, as he was just a child. As she goes through the pictures, she sees a tower, and it is the tower that she has been seeing in her dreams since they reached there. She asks Victor about the same, and Victor tells her that his sister drew that picture, and she told him that this is where their mother went that night to save the children from the tower. Back in the town, as Boyd and Victor were returning after burning the body, they start to hear the sound of bugs coming from a house. Reggie, one of the town residents, comes running out of the house, asking for help. As Boyd and Kenny go in, they find that his partner died. Reggie tells them that she died in her sleep, and he was not able to wake her up. He also shares with them that before dying she was rambling a riddle. Knowing this, Boyd knows that there is something new in the town, thus he thinks that no one should sleep tonight. In addition, he wants everyone to be with someone. Julie tells him that his father went to the RV, and Boyd decides to head there, forcing Kenny to accompany Sarah for the night. Christy also takes Marielle to the colony house, as her condition will deteriorate before getting better, because of her withdrawal. At the RV, as Jim reaches there, he sees Donna tied to the tree. Jim tells Randall that this is not what they had planned, and asks him to cut Donna loose. But Randall was not ready to do so, and pulls out a knife. But before things could escalate, Boyd reaches there, and is able to make Randall cut Donna loose. But with the sun going down, and Randall throwing the keys of the van away, they are forced to stay in the RV. During the night, they are surrounded by the monsters, but they stop at a distance. It is when the music from the music box starts playing on the radio, and Boyd tells everyone that they need to leave, as bad things happen when the music plays. Randall breaks out of the RV, leaving the rest of them behind. Jim and Donna reach the van and are able to get it started. Boyd also makes it to the van, despite seeing his wife asking him to come back to her. Back in the town, Kenny, being with Sarah, is forced to talk with her. Sarah, feeling guilty, decides to end her life, but Kenny is able to stop her. While back at his house, Tabitha, having the photos, discusses with Jade about the tower. She tells him how she has been seeing it in her dreams, and she believes that helping the children in the tower might be the way for them to get back. But Jade is not sure of anything, and seeing the pictures of the guards he first saw in his vision, he is even more confused. At the colony house, Christy comforts Ellis by telling him that he need not worry, and that their baby will be fine. Elgin also learned about Fatima's pregnancy, as one of the colony member was able to deduce the same, seeing the glow on Fatima's face. Boyd, along with Donna and Jim, also reached the colony house, and everyone wants to know what is happening. But before they could explain anything, we see Marielle dreaming of something, and going into some kind of a trance. Boyd tells Christy that she needs to stay strong, and they will figure out something. Later, Elgin tells them that when they reached here, he dreamt of a little boy in white, and he kept repeating a phase, and he only remember about it now, as he learned about Fatima's pregnancy. As he repeats the phase, one of the colony member knew it being an old rhyme, which had the essence that they will come for 3, unless you stop the melody. It is when we get to see Randall being attacked by bugs, while Julia also goes in the same kind of trance as Marielle. In the morning, as Donna goes to retrieve the body of Randall, she finds that he is also in the same kind of trance as the others. As Boyd reaches to see Julia, he interacts with Jade. Jade shares his frustration with him, as he is not able to find a solution, and there are too many random variables. Boyd, in order to find a solution, takes Sarah to the place from where he got back. Reaching there, Sarah has a connection with the place, and is able to hear the music from the music box playing. She tells Boyd that the music box is right there, and if they are not able to stop the music before it ends, all 3 of those in trance will die. Thereafter the evil which got out from there will be free, and everyone else will also face the same consequence, and it will make them suffer. But they are not able to find anything there. At the colony house, Ellis asks Fatima to marry him, and she agrees. While Reggie kills a colony member and steals his gun. Boyd goes to church in order to seek guidance, as he feels guilty of bringing this new evil in the town, and is not able to figure out what to do. Donna reaches there, and tells him that he will have time to think about it later, but for now he needs to be there at his son's wedding. As Boyd attends his son's wedding, something clicks in his mind. He then goes to get the torch with which he exited the ruins, hoping that this might take him back. But as he was heading towards the ruins, Reggie shoots at him, as he blames him for getting his wife killed. Since bad things started happening, once he got back from the forest. But Boyd is able to have an upper hand, and ends up shooting Reggie. Meanwhile Tabitha, seeing her daughter unconscious, is convinced that she needs to help the children in the tower, as it might help to save their daughter. Though Jim is not sure about it, but seeing the conviction of Tabitha, he allows her to go. Victor takes Tabitha to the bottled tree, and tells her that this is where he found her mother. The tree was also a faraway tree, and Victor informs her that she will have to go through the tree in order to reach the tower. And before she leaves, Victor gives her his box with various goods. As Tabitha goes through the tree, she reaches a lighthouse, and she starts climbing its stairs. Tabitha is able to make her way up the tower, and as she reaches to the top, a boy in white appears, and apologizes to her, and pushes her from the tower. Jade, also trying to figure out more, decides to head into the caves, where Tabitha told him that she saw the symbol, which he keeps on seeing. As he goes in, he finds himself surrounded by kids, and they were chanting something, and as he looks up, he sees the symbol that he keeps on seeing. But suddenly everything vanishes, and he finds himself all alone in the cave. While Boyd reaches the ruins, and as he lights his torch, he is back in the building. He finds that the people in trance are chained to the wall. As Boyd heads to destroy the music box, he sees his wife trying to stop him from doing so. But Boyd is able to overcome from her persuasion, and destroys the music box. With the music box being destroyed, all three of the people in trance wake up. In addition, the buzzing sound also goes away, while Boyd finds himself back in the forest. As the season ends, we see Tabitha being treated in a hospital. She learns that few hikers found her on a trail 3 days back, and as she opens the curtain, she finds herself back in the city, away from her family. Thanks for watching. And if you liked it, please subscribe.